Hey everybody, it's Tuesday night, it's 9:30, and it's time to go behind those hedges. I'm Mitch, and this is my friend, my co-host Matt. Uh, welcome to the show, everyone. Tonight we have much to discuss. We're going to be talking about the Kentucky-Georgia game, Georgia's upcoming bye week, happenings around the SEC, and maybe take a look at what the prediction is or the forecast is for each of the SEC teams going forward. But until then, you better go put that mustard back in the fridge for your wife gets mad.
Let me go throw that back in the fridge. It's getting hot.
Oh, before you, I'll handle it anyway. I'll say it in a minute. You know,
what do you need to say to that soulless ginger?
I gotta wait till the ginger puts his headset back on.
Oh, Roger that.
Yeah, so it's
his wife. His wife is watching. His wife is watching. Put that back in the fridge.
Well, he probably needs it for lunch tomorrow.
That is hilarious, man. That is hilarious.
All right, put that headset back on.
Hey,
now,
Matt, your wife.
Here's the thing, okay? When SEC Shorts did their Tennessee, home protection kit, it was funny. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Ducati, you're just being a dick. Albeit a lovable dick, but you're still being a dick. Okay?
Hey, listen.
He said he was going to become obnoxious.
Look, here's the reality. Y'all gonna have to just take it. We got to take 1980. Florida's got to take shoes. There's jokes that people just have to take from different shit that their fan bases do. You are now golf balls and mustard bottles. Now, I do have a serious question. What the hell is going on? Who brings a mustard bottle? What is it? Is that a thing?
I don't know. I mean, the dumbass who decided to keep the student section behind the visiting sideline.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, it hadn't always been that way. I mean, the balls have been that is the east sideline. The sideline, the end zones are north-south, the sidelines are east-west. That is the east sideline. It hasn't always been that way. I mean, the balls have been on either side of the field. My problem is if there is a student section during the Georgia game, I would bet they're going to put us on the same side as the student section. If there is one. Honestly, if they banned the little fuckers for the rest of the season, I would not miss them.
Yeah, I know y'all don't condone that shit.
I know we need. And honestly, the other thing.
Go ahead, and then I gotta get.
The other thing is that they need to reconsider, which I thought was a bad idea anyway, was alcohol sales at the stadium.
Yeah,
that has not been suspended as of today.
That was a bad idea from the jump.
Well, let me tell. I mean, look, silly, stupid shit happens all over the SEC.
Yeah,
I haven't seen that, and I'm not saying it hasn't happened. I just haven't seen that since Georgia beat Alabama in Tuscaloosa in 2007. When Stafford hit Mikey Henderson in the back of the end zone, handed Saban that loss. There were glass liquor bottles flying out of the student section. I guess they have it set it up down there to hit Georgia players. Now, here's the thing. I don't remember there being this, and it is disgusting, any which way you slice it, but I don't remember there being this massive pearl clutch when Alabama did it, as opposed to now when it was water bottles. And I mean, now it's – is it acceptable? No. But Lane Kiffin needs to quit his bitching right now, because Lane Kiffin has decided he wants to be the heel. He wants to be the old school wrestling villain in the SEC. Well, here's the truth of the matter, and I should know. If you're going to play the heel, sometimes you get hit in the head with a golf ball.
Yes. Sometimes you get shanked, sometimes you get shanked walking
Yeah.
back to the
Ask
locker room.
Ole Anderson and the Assassins what happened when they beat up Dusty Rhodes in the cage in '79 in the Omni. They got hit with more than golf balls. So Lane,
Ole got stabbed in the damn chest.
if you want to be that guy,
Yeah.
sometimes you have to take what comes with it. Now,
here's the thing here's the thing that I had the other thing that I had a problem with is friendly fucking fire.
Yeah, it was a sad scene to watch the cheerleaders walk off covering their heads. You know what I mean? Come on. That's your folks.
If they never let them back in, good riddance. Honestly, they should make the little bastards. They should take the damn $250K out of the student activities fund. Make fraternity row pay it.
Sure. Sure.
And
let them police themselves.
That's it. I mean,
so
after this,
officially
I'm already fired up because that piece of shit ex-football coach of ours, most recent piece of shit ex-football coach of ours, is threatening to sue the college for his buyout.
I'm watching it, or I'm reading it right here. What was the headline? Yeah,
$12.5 million.
Yeah, if they don't play ball.
If we're forced to pay it, Philly football, Great Pumpkin, get your checkbook out because by God, I want you to pay it.
So
you're the one who sicked that little asshole on us.
I am curious, Dren.
Yes.
I was watching one of the Georgia Dog Nation Daily guys, and I don't even remember who it was. It might have been Mike Griffin or somebody like that. And he said that there's the $250,000 fine is levied. It's the same fine that gets levied for storming the field and that sort of stuff. And he said that there's going to be a certain portion of the population that says that's not enough money. That's not enough, right?
There's enough money.
And maybe it is, maybe it's not. Who knows? But the thing he says, that amount of money matters to different fan bases in different ways, or different programs in different ways. And he said that right now, he said Tennessee is in a little bit of a financial situation, and he didn't say detailed. And I'm wondering if that's what he's alluding to. Are they about to have to come off some money for?
Well, they're maintaining because of the NCAA violations. They fired Pruitt with cause, so they don't own opinion.
Right.
So let me read a quote.
Yeah.
This was from Lyons. I guess Lyons is the lawyer. Even if UT prevails on its claimed defenses to the contract, which is unlikely, the public revelations from the lawsuit will invariably embarrass UT, its athletics department, and the administration. All of the parties to this dispute should try to avoid that.
I got news for you. We're already embarrassed.
Right. Well, I mean, with the whole thing with Army and now this thing with Trashgate, I mean Tennessee's got a lot of egg on its face.
We were embarrassed long before that. The whole. Sure. It was the whole Fulmer's reign of terror as AD, and that's what it was to undo everything.
Get used to it, brother. This is the new world we live in, Grant. I'm so sorry.
What was to basically screw over the guy who fired him.
Come on, Robert. Come on in.
And undo everything that the guy had done, and basically just stick it back to the alumni who got him fired.
Well,
look, I will always have a special place in my heart for Phil Fulmer. Okay. He got us to a national title. I'll never forget that. I'll love him forever, but I will never trust him as long as I live.
Well, let's let that breathe for a second. Let's put that cork in that bottle and let that kind of settle down. Dren, have a pill.
I'm good, man.
We'll send you a masseuse or something.
This man sounds like Walter.
Mitch will tell you this is just me.
As intrigued and riveted and sympathetic as I am towards Tennessee, I'm going to change the subject, and we're going to talk a little bit about something more positive, which was Georgia's weekend, where I kept saying each week we did this show, every week we heard the new fairy tale of the week where the team that was coming in, this was something Georgia had never seen, never dealt with. This was the one. I think they might have halfway nailed this one, though. I think Kentucky is firmly the second best team in the East, and I don't know that
it's well covered.
What's that?
Again,
it would have been nice if you guys covered.
Yeah, but
Right.
if you ain't gambling money, who gives a fuck? My objective was get in, get a win, get out without injuries because Kentucky has chewed our ass up the last couple of years. We walk out of that game looking like something out of Mad Max, and I was sweating bullets because we're already beat to hell, and if we go in there and get chewed up again, now we're turning to cheerleaders and walk-ons, and that's not the model if you're trying to chase a natty. To my knowledge, there were no significant injuries suffered by the University of Georgia. So all the boxes were checked. I will say this, though. The first quarter and the fourth quarter, Tennessee made Georgia sweat, made Georgia work for it.
Kentucky, you mean?
Kentucky. What did I say? Tennessee?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll do the same.
Well,
No.
well, I'll get to that later. I have thoughts about that. But Kentucky, I told y'all, and it's not about y'all anymore. It's all about what Georgia does. Kentucky kind of challenged that. And they were like, no, we're here too, and we're good enough right now where we're going to try to do what we want to do and be who we want to be. And they had some success with it. That's the first time I think we've had a blue-collar game for 2 quarters. Now, second, third quarter, we lit them up. You could see the separation. But tip my hat to Kentucky. They had the ball for 38 minutes. 38 minutes.
That's a lot of time.
And it netted them 13 points.
Yeah. I mean, people. We might as well say it. There's been some folks who have been a little miffed about that last score with Stoops driving down there and calling a timeout.
Oh, I loved it. If I was a coach, what do you think I would do?
I know that's what you do. I know that's what you would do. You're going to try to score there.
I don't judge.
But that's what I was going to say. I was like, look. Some people want to say it's Bush League or whatever, and get all angry about it. But I'm of the opinion my man Roberts guys are. Play game for 60 minutes. I know that on that last drive, Kentucky had the ball for they took over with 11 minutes left in the game, 11 something left in the game, and they drove. God, what was it, like 22 plays or something like that? They held the ball for a long time, and I know. I saw a video, I heard a report that there was a. Dan Lanning is in the headset with Kirby, just freaking out like, we got to get this stop. And Kirby said, no, we don't have to get this stop. They're eating clock. I mean, they're munching that clock. 22 plays, 75 yards, 11 minutes. Yeah. And it's like, all right, cool. You're down by 23 points. If that's the way you want to play it, then by all means, go right ahead.
I didn't care if we won by 100 or won by 2, as long as nobody got chewed up and they lost a tight end during that drive. We didn't lose anybody. I'm good with it. And if you're a gambling degenerate, I'm so sorry for you. But we beat them 30-13. Now, the punctuation on that drive, the little ending quick uppercut to knock them out in the 14th was a blocked PAT. So it's kind of like Big Brother, little brother juked you and got the touchdown, but we pushed you down in the mud before Mama called us into dinner. So we got a little bit of a last laugh on that one. But at the end of the day, I've said I'm not talking about the defense anymore. What else is there to say? But the offense, everybody's been freaking out for 6 weeks on all these pieces we're missing, and yet we're still doing what we're doing. Should we still be freaking out?
I think that this bye week is coming at just the best possible time.
Yeah.
And if we don't get healthy, then we're going to be okay with the rest of our regular season schedule. But if we can start getting healthy and start getting some of those pieces out there on the field, man, oh man, that sure would be a lot better because we're going to need some of those pieces at some point down the road, I think.
Well, it's like I told Ducati at the beginning of the year after the Clemson game. I said this could be a scenario where you have like a 92 Bama team that just rides their defense to a national title. Mikey, quit griping about Luke Jackson.
Mikey looks like he's ready to go rip somebody's shirt off. Yeah. What's the fire in those eyes all about? God dang, I didn't even say nothing about Clemson.
Honestly, I don't see why, as long as that defense does what they've been doing, I don't see why you guys should be worried. It would be nice if you guys had Daniels and Pickens back for Florida. I think Daniels will probably be back for Florida.
Pickens wants to come back.
The word is that the most likely receiver.
I'd hold him out until Alabama if we can get away with it.
That's me. That's my thinking.
Maybe.
But I like George Pickens himself and his family are like, no, we want Florida. And I'm like, I love your energy. I really appreciate your fire. But God, like, what shape are you going to be in that soon?
Yeah, I think that's going to be too early. And
besides,
isn't the stadium in Jacksonville turf, artificial turf?
No,
I believe is it grass?
It's grass.
I thought that they had gone to an.
I would not want him starting on playing his first game on turf.
I think it's too early. Florida, any which way you
slice it. I agree with you, Matt. I think
hold him. Hold him to. Let's just. We didn't expect Pickens back for the year. Can I just get an Arian Smith? Can I just get a Jermaine Burton? Can I just get a Dominic Blaylock?
Well, that's what I was going to say. The big talk right now is that Dominic Blaylock is the most likely receiver for us to get back. And okay, I mean, that'd be fine. I'd like to see JT out there.
Robert? What are you not going to do to me this time? Don't say Arik Gilbert's name, because if I hear that name again, I'm going to come through this computer and we're gonna have a Texas death match.
I think he might be talking about JT and Pickens. He says the crew.
I'm good with JT. JT comes back, fine.
Yeah, but I don't want to see Ladd McConkey get benched. He's had a hell of a season.
Why would you bench him?
Dude, that was the root of my question. Do we need any more than what we've got? Like, these walk-on 0-star, 3-star white boys are tearing it up. I don't know what else to tell you. The results.
He's y'all's Wes Welker.
Brock Bowers. He's
your Wes Welker. He's your Chris Collinsworth. He is that tough as $2 steak, slot receiver. He's going to get those. He's going to get those.
He wanted to go to Tennessee so bad he could taste it.
Yeah.
When he got knocked out one game, he was bleeding and it was orange, in a Georgia uniform, orange blood. But somehow or another, y'all just didn't think he could cut it.
He couldn't cut what?
The mustard.
The mustard.
I didn't do that one. That was not me, Dren. I was quick enough to pick up on it, but Mitch did you dirty there. Mitch.
You bastard, Mitchell.
I was sitting here just like, how can I get mustard in here? How can I get mustard in here?
What you got tonight, Mikey?
I got the Braves losing, heartbreaker.
Well, the joke's on LA because their fans were leaving the stands early, apparently, to beat the traffic. But that's more just because, our team's not winning. Let's go surfing, dude. I've seen it. Useless. Useless.
Okay, so I have a couple of things here that I want to talk about. Before we get into it, is there anything else we need to say about the Kentucky-Georgia game? No. I still like Kentucky. I liked Kentucky going into the game. I still like them. I think they're a good football team.
Mitch was telling me they're projected. They're supposed to pick up a second loss. Have either of you boys looked at the rest of their schedule? You want to take a gander at who the next loss is going to be?
We're going to take a look at it in just.
I don't think so.
But their FPI has got them slotted to lose like 2.5 games, and I'm looking at it and thinking, where is it? Where are this other 1.5 games?
Maybe us. There's
Hooker.
I think have an outside shot of winning one game that we have no business winning.
Is Hooker back or is Hooker gone?
Yeah, where's Hooker?
They're saying he's day to day. And honestly, Heupel is very, very, very closed mouthed about injury reports. He doesn't. He does not.
That remind me of
literally every coach in the SEC, and especially Kirby Smart. But so Dren, the problem with Tennessee right now is that Ole Miss was probably the most likely win for you guys. You guys got close to it a couple times, right?
Well, we got fucked out of a touchdown in the first quarter first. Before even the debacle, before even what went down, the idiocy that went down in the fourth quarter, we got fucked out of a defensive touchdown.
So never mind the golf balls and the mustard and the water bottles and all that. Never mind all that. What is Joe Milton doing?
I don't know.
with 3 seconds on the clock. The dude
You
takes
got
a
to throw
step.
that ball in the end.
He
zone.
runs
You at least gotta throw it
around
in the end
for
zone.
like 12 seconds, running around, and then he runs 2 yards and then steps out of bounds. And just before he steps out of bounds, he looks up at the clock to see how much time is left. I'm like,
his birth name is Joe Hamilton Jr.
Joe Hamilton. Yeah, isn't he the only?
He's a quarterback for Tech.
Didn't the University of Georgia retire his jersey?
I think so. I mean,
No, that was Reggie Ball.
Reggie Ball. That's right. Reggie Ball.
The rumor was he thought he had more time. He had one more play.
Yeah, but that's it though, right? Like you got to be aware of the situation. You're coming into the game.
That's why the guy's not starter.
There you go.
That in a nutshell is exactly why the guy's not starter. But did you guys happen to see the play that I'm talking about having the first quarter?
No, I don't think I remember.
First quarter, Ole Miss has the ball. They're basically on. I think they're on their own 30-yard line. We get in the backfield. Matt Corral just stops. He just stands there. We hit him. He thinks the play's been blown dead. There's no whistle. There's no flag. There's nothing. He gets hit, fumbles the ball. Byron Young picks it up and runs it into the end zone. And somehow these. I mean, we hit him and ripped the ball out. And somehow these idiots say, "Oh, well, his forward progress was stopped." He didn't fucking move.
So you see what happened here, guys? The golf balls that was all brewing from the first quarter.
Yeah, it was.
It just kept building.
It's been brewing It's been brewing for years.
I mean, they say his forward progress was stopped, no touchdown. And something else that we have come to find out. That the crew that called that game is by far the lowest rated officiating crew in the entire conference.
It just ain't y'all's year. Robert, if you can hear my voice, if you're within the sound of my voice, those names are all good and fine. Are we going to get Bear or not?
I want to comment on something here that Robert said about Michael Williams and
Michael and Christian. I don't know who Jaheim Singletary is.
He's another defensive lineman.
Yes. Yeah, but what about Bear Williams? I hope he didn't get bewitched by that A&M fluke over Alabama. I said
Walter Nolan was at that game too.
Yeah, I think that Georgia's going to take 3 defensive linemen in this class, and I think they're all going to be three pretty good ones. I do believe. And I agree with Robert on this too. Bear transferring to IMG, it spells good things for Georgia. Why would he do that and then go back to Texas? So I don't know. I think it's a good look for us.
Kind of what I think about Walter Nolan. Why would Walter Nolan transfer to Powell in North Knox County and then go to A&M?
I don't know. I don't know where Walter Nolan's going. I don't have the slightest idea. I think
he's number one defensive end.
I mean, I know who he is. I don't know where he's going. I think that Michael Williams, when he committed to USC, I never saw that. Tyree West and Darius Smith. I like Michael. I've been kind of looking at Jaheim Singletary. Kristen Miller, maybe. I'm not as up on him. And if Nolan might be a ball, he might be. But
I think his dad wants him to stay here.
Anyhow, hey Robert, listen, if you can't come on tonight, that's cool. But I think we're going to be talking recruiting. Maybe next week, since we had an off week. Maybe recruiting is a thing that we can talk about a little bit. Get some Georgia guys on here and just ham that out. But right now, I want to take a look at some stuff that compiled today.
Before you hit the button, never mind.
Who's coming in?
Was there any Clemson news?
You guys upset Syracuse, right?
Look, brotherly love, I tell you. Is there anything of note we need to know?
If there is, I don't know.
Okay.
So I saw this tweet. I got to tell you guys about, and I even screenshotted it. So I
It's
can
baseball
make sure that
playoffs.
here it is. Man, God, where's this thing at? Here it is. This was from Brooks Austin. You guys know Brooks Austin, right? He's a Georgia insider film guy, and he puts on Twitter. He says, "Hey Twitter, if I gave Vanderbilt's offense this Georgia defense, how many games would they win?" And somebody responds. Demetrius Wilburn says, "Let's see how many games Clemson wins. That'll probably answer your question." I was like, "No."
Well, I mean, in the mid '90s, there were some when Woody Wittenhofer was the coach at
Sorry,
Vanderbilt.
Brandon.
They had
Hey.
they had 3 years in a row where they had by far the best defense in the country, but they couldn't score on the Tennessee School for the Blind. Had zero offense, and I think the most he ever won was 3 games in 3 seasons.
Well,
So,
here,
I mean,
so I'm going to bring this stuff on here. I'm going to go ahead and I want to explain what we're looking at here. So I want to put this up so everybody's beautiful mugs are going to disappear for a second. And let's just take a look here at the this is the SEC East current standings. What you have is the name of the teams on the left, immediately followed by their overall record and then their conference record. All right, so Georgia's 7-0 overall, 5-0 in the conference, and then the next little column there, the third column after the name, is the projected win-loss record according to ESPN's FPI. So Georgia, if you add those numbers up, you'll get 13, right? So they're projected to win 12.3 games and lose 0.7 games. All right, so how do you lose a point of a game? Well, they take that as it's an aggregate number based on the percentage chance that they will win or lose a game, right? So it roughly works out to 12.3. So I'm looking down here. This is the one I want to look at. Kentucky right now is 6-1 overall, 4-1 in the conference, right? They're projected to win 9.5 games and lose 2.5 games. Now, Kentucky's already lost again. They lost to Georgia this past weekend. And here's their upcoming schedule. Look at this. Mississippi State, Tennessee, Vandy, New Mexico State, and Louisville. I'm going to tell you right now, they're going to beat the Jesus out of New Mexico State. Okay? I'm going to tell you this right now. They're going to go ahead and beat the Jesus out of Vandy. All right.
Yeah.
Louisville is probably going to just like burst into flames. And so that other loss has got to come from either Mississippi State or Tennessee. And boys, I don't see it. I ain't seeing it right now. Tennessee is in a stretch right now where they have to go through Ole Miss, Georgia, Bama, and Kentucky in a 4-week
Then they have
period.
to fight the United States of America. Look, right there.
right.
God
Then they got to play rugby against New Zealand, right? So it's not.
That is a horrible stretch. I mean, objectively, that's a tough stretch.
But is it any tougher of a stretch than what Georgia has just gone through? I mean,
for Tennessee,
maybe the stretch that ends with Florida for us. What was it? Arkansas, Auburn, Kentucky, and ending with Florida. That's a pretty tough 4-game stretch.
It is, but that's not as tough as Bama, Kentucky, Georgia. Bam, bam, bam. Come on now.
Yeah. And Ole Miss is like the one that you get a shot at, right? And it just didn't materialize. And so I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, all right, Tennessee. I'm just going to go ahead and move on. Tennessee 2-2 in the conference, 4-3 overall. So Tennessee's already got 4 wins. Bama, UK, UGA. I'm counting those games as losses. All right, so that puts Tennessee at 4-6 with South Alabama and Vandy to wind up the season with. You guys win those 2 games, you're 6-6. You're bowl eligible. You go to the freaking Music City Bowl, fine, and play against UCF. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It'll be somebody that you guys may be able to beat, and if you win that game, then that's something to hang your hat on. And you just say, you know what?
Well, and
we got bowl eligible.
We're basically where we thought we would be at this time into the year. We thought, we knew the games we absolutely had to win to get to 6, and we've done that. We've won those games.
Mhm.
Yep.
So anything on top of that is just.
I mean, I always said if we had 4 by the time LSU came to town, or Ole Miss came to town, all we had to do was beat South Alabama and Vandy to get in. We're fine.
Florida.
So six wins is exactly what I said at the beginning of the season, and I'm sticking by the number. I don't think 7 is completely out of the question, but it's unlikely.
Okay.
Where's Florida going from here?
So what you're saying, Trent, is absolute ceiling is 7.
Yes.
And an absolute floor
is 5.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
We're not going to lose South Alabama and Vandy. I'm sorry. I do not see that happening at all.
All right. But all right. So we're moving on down the list. You're talking about Kentucky. I see Kentucky being a 10-1, 11-1 team. I think Georgia's going undefeated up into the SEC championship game, and then I do believe that Georgia's going to win the SEC championship, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about regular season. I think Georgia's going to be 12-0. Kentucky's going to be 11-1. I think Tennessee is going to be 6-6. What about Florida? Florida is currently 4-3, but they're projected to win 7.8 games. Are they going to win 7 or are they going to win 8?
They're going to win 7.
They're about to tote an L to UGA, and that's going to be Mullen's 7th loss to a Power 5 opponent in the last 9 games. That's lovely, gentlemen. Then they got to go to. I mean, I think that Florida wins South Carolina, Samford, Missouri, and Florida State pretty easily. So I see them winning. I see Florida 8-4 right now, and I think that going into the season, I remember Ethan saying 9-3 was the ceiling, right? And it's looking more or less like 8-4 is most likely results. Anybody?
I said I agreed with him, but I said 8-4. I said you will lose. I said in the preseason show you will lose. Florida will lose to either Missouri or Kentucky, but not both. Pick one, and turns out it was Kentucky.
Yep, that's right. And we picked LSU, Bama, and Georgia as the other 3 losses. And then as we get closer to the LSU game, it's starting to look more and more like a winnable game. But while Tennessee was playing with trash, Florida was playing like trash, and they did not do. I mean, listen, dude, how do you lose to a team that then fires its coach?
I'm looking at the FSU game and wondering if that's going to be the cakewalk that all the Florida fans think it's going to be.
Do you think FSU's got something for Florida this year?
I think that I hope that I get to talk to Ethan before that game, because I don't think I'll ever get to speak to him after that game. I think he will find a high point to fling himself from. If Florida goes 7-5 and that last loss is to FSU, that is.
You can officially put Mullen on the hot. It's right now. It's all over the internet now that he should be on the hot seat. Whether or not he is up to Florida, but he should be from outside observers. They lose to FSU. You can go ahead and make that official.
I mean, if Georgia, if you guys can stomp all over him like I think you should, I think he's on the hot seat after you guys. I think if he's
Robert Reynolds, that's a fair point.
Well, listen, it'll make what would that be, the 3rd Florida head coach scalp on our belt?
At very least, Todd Grantham is playing for is coaching for his job against you guys.
Did y'all see them against LSU? Florida's defense looked like they'd rather be having a beer and a doobie. They were like,
they probably were.
Well, that was Brenton Sloppy Seconds Cox. That's why he went to Florida, because he couldn't get off the ganja.
So,
what happened?
I'm thinking. How to ask this question.
While you're thinking, I'm going to say this, because I'm right here, 30 minutes away from the Doak, and got a pretty firm finger on the pulse of what's going on with Florida State, and they're believing. Mike Norvell is walking on water across Tallahassee right now.
Why are they believing?
Well, that's the not much of anything the way I look at it. Still, don't be surprised.
Well,
I mean,
beats
if
I
you
still,
got
I
a
think I
shitty,
still have this this thing from week 2 here. Let me see if I can find this thing from week 2. I mean, need we be reminded?
Yeah, I don't know. What are
You
they
know?
believing in?
you got a shitty season going on. That's the only thing to hang your hat on is that last win.
And if it comes against the Gators, then you know that they would hang that hat.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So I guess what I'm trying to say, I was trying to figure out a way to ask the question, but so I'm not going to ask the question. I'm just going to make a statement, right? Not only is Florida playing poorly right now, but it seems like they're playing worse and worse as the weeks go by. And it's kind of unfortunate, I think, that they had to play Tennessee so early, because I believe that if
That's
Tennessee,
what I'm saying.
if the Florida-Tennessee game were a little bit later, like maybe this last week, Tennessee probably gets a win there, guys.
The last time
agree.
you played Florida at the end of the season is 2001. We went down there and won.
Yep.
It got rescheduled due to 9/11. And we went down there and won for the first time since '71.
Yeah.
In Gainesville.
So I see Florida finishing 3rd and Tennessee finishing 4th right now. And then let's run through these last 3 here, sort of as a group, I guess. South Carolina is projected to win 5 games, so pick one of the remaining games. What is it? Is it Missouri? Missouri's
That's the only one.
Sure.
TAMU, Florida, Auburn, Clemson are going to just spin tires on them.
Missouri will beat Vanderbilt, and Vanderbilt will beat. Nope, I don't think Vanderbilt's
Clemson
going to
would be hilarious.
The stench coming off the field for South Carolina Clemson is going to be epic.
God, I don't know. Yeah, that I don't know, man. That might be really terrible. Missouri, they've got 3 wins.
It's got one more. It's at least one more win. They'll
At
be
least
Vandy.
one, maybe 2. So they're going to beat Vandy, but who else? Like
South Carolina. I think they got a better chance to beat Carolina than they do Arkansas.
Maybe we'll talk about that. Vanderbilt is they have won 2 games, and they are going to win 2 games. There ain't anybody left on that schedule that they can beat. So that's it. So South Carolina, I had Tennessee positioned where South Carolina is now, and South Carolina positioned where Missouri is now. So clearly we were wrong about that bottom tier, but I didn't think that bottom tier was going to win a combined 12 games. And so right now it's looking like there's going to be 5 plus 4 is 9, 10, 11. Yeah, it looks like 11 games. I said in the beginning of the year that the bottom 3 teams in the East won't combine for 12 wins, and here they are going to hit.
I remember you saying that.
Yeah. So let's take a look at the West now. Now this one's a little bit rockier. Obviously, Bama's first with their 6-1 overall, 3-1 in the conference. But here's what's interesting: if you notice that 10.9 and 1.9, you notice that those numbers don't add up, right? That at 12.8 is not 13. Why? Because look at Auburn's numbers: 7.9, 4.1 adds up to 12.2. So what that means is Auburn still controls their own destiny. There is a 20% chance that Auburn will make it to the SEC championship game, according to these numbers. So if Auburn just wins out, then it's Georgia-Auburn in the SEC championship.
Please God, let that happen.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad because I love.
Actually, let me retract that. No, I want Bama, because then you'll have a bunch of mouth breathers going, "Well, you didn't beat Bama." I want Bama.
Didn't beat that two-loss Bama team.
Yeah, I want Bama in Atlanta. It's time to put that shit to bed.
I don't know about Auburn beating Texas A&M.
No,
that's a tall order.
Well, I will say this about Auburn. Texas A&M is what Texas A&M has always been, or at least in recent years. They play really well at times, and then they lose to Mississippi State at times.
Yeah.
You know, they're consistent. Kellen Mond, for all the numbers and his stuff he did while he was there, was nothing if not inconsistent. So I keep waiting for Bo Nix to fall flat on his face. And the guy just somehow keeps managing to pull rabbits out of his hat, or out of his ass. you know, and they have a pretty solid and aggressive defense, and they got a quarterback that can move around and make plays. And that is how TAMU beat Bama, with that exact formula. And so, wouldn't it be nice? I don't know. So, but it's looking like here that most likely Bama wins the Iron Bowl, and then Auburn gets stuck with 8 wins, and it goes 8-4. Ole Miss though is sitting on 5-1, 2-1 in the conference, but 5-1 outside, and it's like here they're supposed to win 4 of their final 6 games. So I'm looking at through that list. Is there any team? Are there 2 teams that stick out on that list that Ole Miss can't beat?
Auburn and A&M.
Auburn A&M.
You think that Auburn and A&M are the most likely?
I don't think LSU's going to beat them. LSU ain't going to be able to stop them.
Man,
yeah, that's
Yeah,
tough.
but
I mean,
what if Ole Miss?
as good as LSU's been playing the last couple of weeks,
What if Ole Miss?
Guys, if Matt Corral is not the front runner for the Heisman right now, I don't know what the hell's going on in the world.
Well, there's a question about his availability this week, so that is a concern. And
he did get banged up towards the end of the game, but they ran for about 300 yards on us, and it was him. He ran for 173 of that.
Yeah.
So,
well, if you look, he's got the numbers, the average yards of a running back.
we finally got him to to throw an interception.
Yeah. I still would like to see them get to 10 wins. I would like to see Ole Miss go that far.
I think 11. I think 11 is their floor, because they're going to beat Liberty and they're going to beat Vanderbilt.
You think 11 is their floor?
Yeah.
You mean that's the worst they can do is win all 6 of their games?
Hold on, so I can't.
What the hell?
It's 10 o'clock. I can't fucking add.
No,
I mean they'll win 3 of that. They'll win 3 of the 5 they have left.
How many fingers am I holding up?
I can't see you, dickhead.
They got 6 games left.
I'll say they'll take 4 of them.
I think the worst case scenario is 4 of those final 6, and I think the best case scenario, they could win all of them.
I think they'll lose to Auburn.
Yeah, I think it's likely. I think Auburn and Texas A&M are the most likely losses there. All right, moving on to LSU. LSU is currently 4-3, 2-2 in the conference, and it's looking like they're projecting to win 6.3 games there. So out of Ole Miss, Bama, Arkansas, Louisiana, Monroe, and A&M, LSU is supposed to win 2 of those 5 games. Which 2?
Monroe.
I'm looking at the Arkansas game thinking, I don't know who wins that shit.
This is a tough one.
That is a tough one, right? So if they're going to get Ole Miss, they better get them this week with Corral being hurt. That could be it. But I just don't know.
Wouldn't it be some shit if they've decided to separate with Orgeron and LSU just miraculously wins the rest of their games?
Just goes on a tear and just winds up
they win out. Like they fucking win out, right? And how? What an egg on your face! Just a miasma around your program. I would love that.
That would be pretty great.
All right, so who knows? But it's hard to say, man, because the opposite could also be true. They could go 0-5 in that stretch. Hold on, Mikey. Hold on. Let me get you on there. Yep.
Damn.
That's pretty rough, boys. Where were you at now? LSU. Their absolute ceiling is 5-0, and their absolute floor is 0-5. It's hard to tell with LSU. I actually think that they won't lose to ULM, so maybe their absolute floor is 1-4. But I could definitely see that. I could definitely see a 1-4 with the rest of their schedule, putting them at 5-7 on the season. What a joke of a season. A&M schedule. They're at 5-2 right now, 2-2 in the conference, and they're supposed to win 3 or 4 of their final 5. So they'll beat Scar, they'll beat Pine View or Prairie View rather.
Prairie View.
They'll beat LSU.
South Carolina.
But
Yeah.
they could lose to a team like Ole Miss. They could lose to Auburn, so it's hard to say. There's two losses lurking there. Two losses lurking there for A&M. Final two here. Mississippi State, they're projected to win 6.3 games. So find 3 games on there that they can win.
The most I see is 2. They'll beat Vanderbilt and they'll beat the Fighting Eddie Georges from Nashville.
Yeah.
Tennessee State. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I don't see them. I don't see them beating another one of those teams. I think Arkansas is going to get off the schneid this week here. They're going to play Pine Bluff. They're going to get a little bit healthier, and then they're going to run through Mississippi State, LSU, and I see Arkansas going through the rest of the season, only losing that one to Bama. So they could finish 8-4. 8-4 for Arky is what I got.
If they do, I think Sam Pittman's coach of the year. Easily.
Maybe. I think it would be valid. It sure would have been nice for them to pick up one of those wins.
Instead of losing that one game, I don't know if he's coach of the year.
When they played against Auburn, yeah.
Yeah. So if they Ole Miss beat them, right? So I got Arkansas finishing. Geez, I don't know, man. How it's a tough. Do you put them at 4th? Do you put them at 5th? Who finishes that? LSU and Mississippi State, to me, appear to be the weaklings.
Yeah.
LSU and Mississippi State. Texas A&M and Arkansas are Arkansas already beat TAMU, so you got to put them above them, I guess. So maybe that's your top 4: Alabama, Auburn, Ole Miss, Arkansas, then A&M, then LSU and Mississippi State.
Sounds good.
Yeah, their division looks a little more just clear cut, half and half.
I guess you. I don't know though. The LSU and Mississippi State are poor teams right now. They but they are both very capable of just rising up at any moment and just orchestrating your doom. And what happened against Florida? LSU versus Florida. What happened?
From what I saw, Florida decided they were going to try to set a record for interceptions.
Let me tell you a number here that is absolutely confounding to me.
Emory Jones threw 3.
Sorry, what?
He's asking how many interceptions Florida had. 4. They had 4.
Yeah, and it was like one quarterback threw one, another quarterback came in and threw another one,
back to back.
Yeah. Well,
I'll tell you what happened.
Threw 3, and then the other guy came in and threw 1.
What was LSU sitting at, like 120, 112 in rushing?
They were 127th in team rushing.
And then Terrion, forget his last name, Terrion, and it spelled like frickin' Game of Thrones. Terrion was like, no, not today.
You're talking about Price Davis.
And put a record on the Florida defense. What was it, 200?
He set a record, 286 yards. That's the most yards that Florida has given up on the ground in their school history.
Look, that is a problem deeper than just one game.
Damn, that's
I watched that game before I went to work. You could tell the Florida defense was disinterested. They were disinterested.
And like I said, in 2 weeks, Todd Grantham is coaching for his job.
That's not the game I think he wants to do that with.
That's the cards that are dealt to him.
Sorry.
He's got to do something, or he's not going to have a job. Frankly, I could give a shit. The flaming asshole. He always has been.
Oh, we know that. We know that firsthand. He was with us. We were like, and I remember like being in denial about it. Like, oh, give him a he's from the NFL. We give him a chance. He's from the NFL. I was doing that shit like they're doing now. And then when reality comes crashing down, like it is now, you're like, oh fuck, we messed up.
Mitchell, I know you're running things around here. Are we going to be getting to our secret picks?
Yes, we want to do that. I wanted to give you guys an opportunity to bandy about these things, but I want to go over the standings here. I did not record anybody who failed to make it to our weekly meeting last week. I did not record your picks, So right now, Matt and I are currently tied atop the picks board at 18 and 17 because he took the advice of our friendly neighborhood Gator man and went with the Tigers of LSU last week. And I
was
didn't
told
see it.
to. He
was
told me to. I had to
And-
do it. He told me
Yeah.
to.
Yes. Oh wait. Are we being joined? Oh yes. Good, sir. Welcome to the show.
And now the volume is going to go up, folks. You better get ready. He's here.
What? Wait, hold on. What the hell's going on here?
The damn volume did go up.
No, but I know I at least got three. I got Ole Miss. I got Ole Miss. I got Kentucky and LSU.
I believe you.
On Mississippi
My
State.
picks are in your text messages. So
No, actually, I
approve your
picked
text.
Bama. So at least I
I'll go back and add them up.
Can I go first on the secret picks?
No, I
So,
need to go to bed.
before we
So
get
I'm
to
going
the-
first.
Okay,
That's why I
before we get to the secret picks, let's run through
Fine,
the
you've suffered
four
enough
SEC
this past week.
Yeah,
I'll allow it.
I need to get to bed.
The-
I got shit to do tomorrow.
The SEC picks are there's only 4 SEC games that are played between 2 SEC teams. Now, Arkansas, of course, is playing Pine Bluff, but who the fuck wants to pick that? I couldn't even find a spread on that game. So first game of the week is South Carolina versus A&M. At the time of my reporting this,
20?
A&M was favored by 20.5. All right, so
I swear to God, I've never seen more people scared of spreads than you people. God, just pick one.
who-
Every
who-
time anything's above 14 points, all of you are like, ooh, that's so many points. Just pick a fucking game.
Well, he
Have
talking
you
a lot, ain't he?
seen AMU?
who's got first? Who's got first?
Here, I don't give a shit about spreads, and I'm tied for number 1. Have some balls. Let's go.
All right, Matt, we'll kick us off then. Who you got? Scar, Tamu,
Tamu.
Tamu.
Tamu the Shamu. Yes, sir. I'm not, and I feel dirty about it. But, I mean, compare the two teams, the product that's been on the field since the season has started. I mean, come on now. They're at College Station.
Yeah.
It's going to be more than 20 and a half. It's going to be a beatdown. South Carolina's not in a good place. That doesn't mean they won't get there. Shane Beamer's, he's got some fire in him, but it ain't going to happen this weekend. Tamu's going to cover.
Yeah, and after South Carolina lost to Vandy 21-20 last week. No, when you beat Vandy by 1, you lost to Vandy. Okay.
I mean, come on, right?
I'm going with the Aggies on this one too. I'm taking Tamu. Giving away all those points. Who's next?
I'll go. Yeah, Aggies. Gig 'em.
Yeah. How about you, Mike?
A&M.
A&M?
A&M. All right.
Brandon?
I'll go with the Aggies.
No. Robert, how about you?
Yeah, that Colt is going to have them scoring more than 21, so I'm going to take Texas A&M as well.
They are caught, man. We might need to have an investigation.
That's some Jim Jones type shit, to be honest.
I mean,
Now, if the younger Beamer had the goiter, I might go with South
Little
Carolina.
Frank.
Exactly.
All right, so let's see. Up next, and I don't think these are in any particular order as far as like what time are y'all playing, Dren?
I don't know. I would
Y'all know what
say
time
that's
the Bama
probably
game
going to be.
It's usually like a 3:00 game.
Yeah, let's look. Hold on.
who's
that's fine.
taking this?
Bama's favored by.
It's the 7 p.m. game.
Oh,
night
good,
game.
good. Then I'll get to watch it on into the night. It looks like Bama's favored by just under 4 touchdowns there. I don't mind going first. I'm taking Bama and giving away the points. And I'm also thinking that that a lot of that is predicated on the Hooker not being available.
Yeah, if Hooker, I'm taking Bama as well. You know, I know you'd mentioned that Hooker's being day to day. If Hooker's in there and he's 100%, I think I would be inclined to take Tennessee to cover. But I just think with Milton there, if he starts,
Milton's not that guy.
Bama. I'm taking Bama.
They're not even talking about Milton starting. They're talking about this sophomore.
Well, then, yeah, give me Bama. I don't care.
It's all the same.
So Hooker is possibly not going to play.
Yeah, he
He
got
was
banged.
carried off the field in the
He got
fourth
carried.
quarter.
That's why
I
Milton
saw.
came in at the end. Yeah. So, Matt, what about you?
Listen, I told y'all, what was it, 2 weeks ago? A pissed off saving is a dangerous saving. I've been saying that for years. At Tuscaloosa, this is not to hurt y'all's feelings, guys. I know you've been through a rough week, but Bama's gonna put it on you.
All right,
Taking the Tide.
Mikey.
Yeah. Roll Tide.
Okay. All right. So, Dren and Brandon,
Go
you
fuck
guys.
yourself, Mikey. You can say just Alabama instead of Roll Tide.
Who's Clemson playing this weekend?
Well,
Pittsburgh.
yeah. Good luck. Bring a lunch on that one.
Yeah.
Dren and Brandon, you guys get the last pick on the Bama Tennessee game.
Go ahead, Dren.
Oh shit, man! I was gonna let you go. Cooper Mays is probably not gonna play.
Say things.
Well, I'll tell you, Cooper might. Cade probably won't. If it's hopefully Tyon Evans plays. Tyon Evans, Jabari Small. But I don't think they're going to have anybody to block for him. Defense is going to make it interesting. Defense has not played all that badly. We held Ole Miss 7 points the second half. Bama.
Damn, he did it.
That man say Bama.
He did it. Now you know what this is? This is credibility, folks. This is being able to separate yourself from your passion to
That's
tell
right.
what you think is what you really think is going to happen.
I picked Ole Miss
Ole
last week
Miss.
too.
Being able to go with what you feel is going to happen. Okay, I respect
Brandon.
All right.
Pick Tennessee to cover. Do it.
We're thin on defense. We're thin on defense. We're thin on defense. We got a good secondary.
We're thinner on offense.
We're thin on offense. I don't know who the hell's playing
The
quarterback.
coach is kind of round though, so you know that.
I mean, he takes for all the thin that you're dealing with.
We can't. You got guys out there that can't play 4 quarters. You got to swap them in and out, and we just can't do that like we should. I think Bama's going to get us.
Okay. All right.
If we had any depth at all, I'd pick us to cover.
So far,
It's
clean
just not
sweep.
there.
Everybody's agreeing on the picks. LSU at Mississippi. Ole Miss is a 10.5 point favorite there.
Okay.
All
right.
Matt, do you want to start this one?
I kind of do because I watched a scene from a movie I'd never seen before with John Goodman. It's called The Gambler. I never saw it. I got lost on YouTube, and it's a scene with him and Mark Wahlberg, and apparently it's a gambling movie. It's one of the most brilliant monologues I've ever seen. And John Goodman is a national treasure, one of the most brilliant actors. Okay, and in the scene, I'll give you the gist. Wahlberg's into these dangerous people for a lot of money, and he had gotten up and did something stupid, and Goodman's almost like the Kingpin from the Spider-Man comics. That's his type of character. Like Wahlberg's into him, and he's like, "You were up $2.5 million," and you're up $2.5 million. Let me tell you what you do. He says, when you get up and you get free, and you're free, everybody knows you just pay your house off, put 3.5% back for taxes, and fuck you. You want me to do something and I don't want to? Fuck you. Boss isn't happy with me anymore? Fuck you. I'm free. Everything's paid for. Fuck you. I got a feeling that's what Ed O's like right now. Y'all don't like me no more? Fuck you. You want me to call this kind of play? Fuck you. I'm just going to coach who I want to. Fuck you.
Stop your profanity.
And I think that might.
What the hell was that?
I kind of want to see LSU win out. So I'm gonna take
Fighting Ed Orgeron's.
I'm gonna take Mississippi to probably win, but I'm gonna take LSU to cover.
LSU covers.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Just
I'll hop on that board. I'll hop on with you, man. I think so too.
I think it's like this at LSU. Edo's gonna be like, you know what? We're going for it on fourth every time.
I'll tell you this.
I don't know if you can see that, but I already have LSU written beside my name too, but for different reasons.
Fuck you. That's why.
I don't think Matt Corral is going to be 100%. And Matt's right. What is do you know what the separation agreement with Orgeron and LSU is? Did you guys see this? I saw this today, and I don't even know. They're paying him his salary.
17.9.
They're paying him his salary.
How many years?
He just won't be coaching.
Yeah.
They're paying that man
So
not to coach.
did what I
He's
just
still
say
gonna be
make sense?
coaching. Just it's like giving your 2 week notice, just in a reverse role.
And have any of you dealt with somebody who's in the middle of a 2 week notice and they're already?
Oh,
pissed?
they're out of it, bro. They're out of it. Yeah.
We're gonna go for it on fourth down every play. Hail Mary every fucking play. Fuck them.
Fuck the Tigers.
I think we're gonna see some crazy shit because he's gonna.
You could.
He
He could go in
He
either
don't
direction.
have to win. He can just play.
I mean, he could take a nap on the sideline, you know, or
Mitch,
He'll probably have a chick giving him
Mitch.
a job.
what's up?
everybody wants to talk about Matt Corral. Matt Corral. Why aren't we talking about Mississippi's defense and how they can't stop a goddamn thing?
For sure.
That's why I got LSU covered.
There. I mean, excellent point. So, Dren, Brandon, Mikey, you guys, any of
Tigers.
what's up?
Go
Go
Tigers.
Tigers.
Go Tigers.
Everybody,
Go Tigers.
man. I think we just sold that game to these boys. See, I think somebody's
Yeah.
going to take.
You're
no.
gonna see
Oh,
some
no.
fun
I-
shit
I-
from LSU.
You know how I feel about
just-
Ole Miss.
I'm not convinced Ole Miss wins that thing by 10.5.
I'm. In fact, that's the game I'm looking forward to
Look,
most.
Mitch,
this week.
we did both the Tennessee boys just said Bama on the air. There's no way in the same show they're gonna take Lane Kiffin. That's too much. That's a bridge too far.
But
That's a
will they
bridge
take?
too far.
But will they take Vandy to cover? Let's find out, Matt. Bold move, Cotton.
Against the assassin? Ooh.
Somebody's going to take Vandy to cover. Somebody in this room right now is going to take Vandy to cover this game.
Wow.
That's me.
Yeah.
That's me.
It's
That's me.
all right. Vandy to cover. All right. Anybody else want some of that? No, everybody else is taking Mississippi State. Well, I guess what, Robert? I'm riding with you, brother. Vandy.
I'll explain myself. I'll explain myself.
Damn it.
Let me explain myself.
What
I'm
the
telling you right
hell
now.
is that pick based on?
I love Will Rogers, but Vanderbilt has some sort of momentum playing South Carolina to 1 point on the road.
Beating.
Be it what it is,
South Carolina.
that's momentum for Vanderbilt.
Okay.
Momentum.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Hey, look,
Hey,
first year head coach, garbage ass program, we all know, but
23
nonetheless,
what is it,
any
Brandon?
momentum is momentum.
23 is a lot of points, Brandon.
I'm going to
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they are the shittiest
Vandy.
team in the SEC by far.
No, I mean they may be one of the
Brandon,
shittest in Power Five.
Are you picking Vandy to cover?
they can play they can play some defense. I mean, as long as it's not against Georgia.
They're playing in Nashville though, so Mississippi
Oh, I love
State.
Love it. Now that's a good. See, this is a good pick,
Shittiest
guys. There's
team,
3-4 and 3
shittiest
against.
game.
That's good. All right. So here's the good stuff. Here comes the good stuff. This is Picker's Choice. We're doing Picker's Choice here for the last one. Picker's Choice. I got my game.
I got mine too.
Wait,
Can I go first?
who's
So I
going
can get out
first?
of
I'm
here?
going second.
Okay.
Who's
You
going
got
first?
Twitter
Me.
up there.
Dren's going first. All right, Dren,
Okay.
you got it.
I have the first FBS game of the week being played tomorrow evening as the Chanticleers
Ah, damn it. That's mine, dude.
of Coastal Carolina roll into Boone, North Kakalaki.
What's the spread?
It's
Here. As a matter of fact,
Coastal
hang on a
Carolina
second.
-5.
Chanticleers.
I say take Coastal in the points.
I say, take the Roosters.
Now, boy, I say
I say that game's going to be a touchdown. Might be a touchdown late, but I think it's going to be closer to a touchdown. I think if it was 7, I'd probably take them.
Hey, Mitch, do you got a game spread or anything? This was kind
I'm
of
pulling it up
last
right now.
second for me.
Pulling it up right now. All right, so App State is +5 there. I don't know if you guys can see that. I can blow it up a little bit there.
Gentlemen, I made my pick, and I will bid you adieu.
So Dren's taking the Chanticleers.
Yes,
Adios,
I'm
Dren.
taking the Chanticleers
All right.
to cover. Good night, gentlemen.
See you, Dren.
Very Orange live stream later on this week. Keep an eye on the Facebook page.
Very Orange Thursday night.
Very
Tell
good.
your friends, and I'll catch y'all later.
All right.
All right,
Take
bud.
it
Thank
easy.
you.
Thanks, Jim.
All right, so let's go with well, dang, dude, I'm gonna pick a different one. That was actually the game that I was gonna. That one is coming on tomorrow night, the Wednesday night game. I'll go ahead and I'll just take the next one on the list. Florida Atlantic is playing Charlotte. No, I don't want that. SMU and Tulane. Man, Tulane. What has happened to Tulane?
They were all the rage by losing close games in the early part of the season.
That was just a testament to how shitty Oklahoma's defense was, but nonetheless.
For true. They had Oklahoma in the corner working the ribs, and since then they have gone 1-5, friends. And they got SMU Mustangs, an undefeated SMU Mustangs come in, but the Mustangs are only favored by 13.5. All right, here's what I'm doing. I'm picking Tulane to cover but not win. So I'm picking Tulane. I'm taking 13.5 points.
Mitch, I'm just gonna let you know in advance. When it comes time to me randomize my game, I will pick it accordingly.
You just want
pick me. Yeah, I'm taking the bold strategy there. I don't care.
Bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him. Matt, what's your game, buddy?
My game is the USC Trojans at the Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
Nice.
That's a good one.
I'm a blue blood. I have to matter. That's the only game that matters. It's not an SEC game, so that's where we're at.
You red-headed bastard.
Oh.
I think it's
Dirty.
Soulless Ginger is the
Whoa. Y'all full of shit. Whoa.
Is he a day walker? Hold on. He may be a day walker.
I got plenty of souls in this jar. I got one from South Carolina. I got one from Vandy. I've got a soul from Arkansas. That one tastes the best because it's made of pork. I want souls. I got plenty of souls, and we gonna have.
I'm Muslim.
I'm gonna have me
Asshole.
a fresh pair of gator skin shoes in about 2 weeks, but I'm not gonna show them to you because I don't wear pants while we do this show.
That's not awkward at all. But continue.
Who do you like?
I just thought you got a
USC
strong
and
spatula.
Notre Dame.
So Notre Dame's favored by 7.
Really?
I'd-
Okay.
You know,
yeah,
it's
I'd
at
take that.
Notre Dame. I have to go with Notre Dame. These are both part of the unholy four, but I think Notre Dame has suffered more in that time.
so you're laying the 7 points, taking Notre Dame.
I think Notre Dame. This used to be one of those marquee games. This was like FSU Miami.
Yeah, it was a big deal.
This was a national brand game. Like
Yeah,
everybody could
7
relax
years
and just
ago.
watch these guys tear each other apart. This used to mean something. It's kind of why I picked it. I'll take Notre Dame and all 7 of those points.
What do you think, Brandon? Are you're picking that game too?
Yeah, I had actually 2 just in case some dirty motherfucker picked the game.
Well, that happened.
But
I got 6.5 here, Matt. By the way.
I was going to pick USC for the upset.
Go ahead.
That's a bold strategy. Jesus.
The fun has been taken out of this, so we'll go with the other game.
All right. What's your other one?
Well, initially I was thinking about Ohio State and Indiana.
Okay. I got Ohio State -20 here.
Yeah, I know. That's why I didn't pick that game. Because I so want Ohio State to get beat. But, hell, might as well go for it. Hoping Indiana gives them a little more fight than that 20 points. I don't think they'll win. I think Ohio State will win.
But you're taking Indiana to cover, huh? Or Indiana in the points? All right.
Yeah.
Indy +20. All right, cool. Mikey, you got a game waiting?
Well, we're going to take this one right here. Where's it at? There it is. And we're going to drive about 40 miles north to North Greenville, where the Valdosta State Blazers go in. 20-point favorite over North Greenville. Over under 68 points. I'm taking the over. Nobody's scored more than 14 yet on Valdosta State this year. So Blazers pound North Greenville.
My alma mater. Good Lord. Look at that.
All right, wait a second, Mike. You're taking the VSU Blazers and versus Greenville. You're taking the over?
I'm taking the over, and Dallas is going to destroy them.
I love it.
Like it's going to be a bloodletting.
Okay, over. What was the total? I didn't get it. I missed the total. What was the total?
68 points. 68 points.
68 points. So over 68. Over 68.
Where'd the other cat go?
Robert does this from time to time.
He just messaged. He said, his phone force closed me out. Hey, Robert, I'm going to just give it to you on the air, buddy. And you can message me your pick or comment here. Your pick is Virginia -7 hosts Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech is going to Virginia, where Virginia is favored by 7. So just comment. Which one do you want there, buddy? Give me Tech, that man says. Give me Tech. GT +7. GT +7.
Little rambling wreck upset.
Okay. Well, that's those picks are locked in, boys. Looks like everybody's agreeing on A&M, Bama, and LSU. We got a split room, 50-50 on Vandy, Mississippi State. And then the pickers' choices, of course, are going to be a lot of fun. So this is super, super fun, gentlemen. We managed to do a lot of work tonight, and about the same amount of time we always do work. So any last words for you two visitors there before Matt and I close this thing out?
Anything interesting?
Tune in, Barry Orange live stream
Thursday night.
Come talk to us.
I do my best, man. Let's see, what is tonight?
I believe I am off that evening. If I get that notification, you might get a soulless ginger.
I actually,
hell yeah,
I might be able to join too. We'll see what we can do. Maybe I can bring Josie on the show too. What time do you think you guys will go live?
It's usually about 9:30, I think.
Okay.
So somewhere around then.
Thursday 9:30. It might be very, very doable.
Now, if
Mikey,
you want to bring your little girl on and you want it to be earlier, we can probably make that happen. I mean,
she can stay up. Well, she ain't got no job. She just got kindergarten.
Mikey, hey, listen. My brother and his wife were very strict about when my nephew.
Ducati ain't never seen his kids. They go to bed so early.
7 o'clock. Get your ass in that bed and go sleep.
Mikey, what about you got anything for football related? Any news?
No, it's
nothing.
Baseball playoffs right now for me.
Well, yeah, he's locked in. And listen, I'm all for the Braves, man. I was there when Sid Bream came around that third base and slid in. I seen it. But as far as Mikey, what is going to happen at Clemson? As far as Dabo, is he going to adapt? Is he going to switch it up? Are y'all going to start utilizing the portal? What's going to happen?
I think I want to answer for Mikey, because Mikey told me the other day that he hopes Clemson loses out. He hopes.
I heard this. Why would you want them to lose out?
Because when the narrative of the rest of y'all bus started, and we won the first national championship, and then we came back and played out again, we won the second national championship. That fire that the team had is gone. It's gone.
What do you think caused that?
I think that a lot of it is we don't have the underdog recruits now we had back then. We're getting those second and third recruiting class instead of number 10 or 12 or 15 or whatever.
Well, that was a very good point. I don't know who made it the other day, but him being against this portal, I mean, we got fucked hard by the portal, but don't think I ain't for it. If we can pick up some guy that came out of bastard state,
you're right. It's like it doesn't matter whether you're for it or against it. It is the reality that we live in right now, right?
Right.
So use it or not.
Adapt or die.
But I guarantee you this: Nick Saban's top tackler came from Tennessee. His top receiver came from Ohio State. You use it, right? I mean, the best in the business are going to be using it. And if you ain't the best in the business, then you're just going to be further behind the 8 ball. All right. So
and currently, Clemson's starting tailback week 1 is sitting in the portal.
The tailback too. I saw that they're
sitting in the portal now.
Lynn J.
Dixon.
Yeah.
And I saw that the safety, one of the safeties from Clemson, went into the portal today as well, starting safety.
I haven't seen that yet. I don't doubt it.
I got the headline on my phone this afternoon. There's safeties in the portal. Hey, Georgia needs a safety. Tell him to come on over. He can play with DK back there. That'd be fine with me. Immediate eligibility. Right, let's go, baby. All right. I'm going to cut you in, Brandon, loose, Mikey. Thanks for coming in, Brandon. Appreciate it. Thanks, Mikey. We'll check with you boys later on. Okay.
No, later.
All right, Matt. What about you? You got anything?
You remember when DJ Ukulele Pineapple Man said he could close his eyes and just hit Clemson receivers at will? Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Pepperidge Farm.
And Ducati remembers.
And French's Mustard remembers.
Well, we getting ready to relax, man. We off this week. So
yeah, I know.
I'm going to get healthy and rest. And I hope Georgia can do the same thing because we're going to need it going forward, I believe. Although an interesting conversation that we're going to have is, do we need any more than what we've got already? Because I think the toughest part of our schedule is behind us, and we have been mauling people.
Yeah. Well, but I'm also one to say, do we need any more? Yes, the answer is always yes to that. You can always be better than you are. So polish the rock and whatnot. Maybe we get some pieces back. Maybe we don't. We'll see how it goes. Matt, this was fun. Let's do it again very, very soon.
How about next week, next Tuesday, around 9:30ish?
That sounds good. I think I'm open at that time.
All right, Dan.
Y'all be good. Go Dogs.